Hey guys, welcome back to Channels. Eric here for Me&M Guns. Have you ever dreamed about selling guns, becoming an FFL, Federal Firearms Licensee? Stay tuned. So Mike Graves is an attorney for UCCA. He goes over with Mike, I'm going to butcher this guy's last name, Walonkowski, who is a consultant for FFLs, help you be compliant. And they'll discuss what the difference is in administrations from Clinton's administration to Obama's administration to George W. Bush administration, all the way to Trump's and Biden's administration. And he'll tell you the differences between each administration and how it affected that federal firearms licensee.
A little bit. It was in the early Clinton years. If an I wasn't dotted or a T wasn't crossed, they got upset. You would get yelled at. You would get written up. Just don't do it again. And as we went forward under George W., things were nice and simple. ATF was a lot friendlier because they had to be. For those of you in the NFA world, I remember 5, 7, 30-day max transfer times. They just, anything that was done, if you saw ATF for a compliance inspection, it was friendly and they were working with you. Obama years, things got rough again. Not quite to that level, but they were right up there. Trump years, ATF was too busy just trying to figure out what he was going to do that day and how to best duck the storm that was coming. Today, you miss one small thing, that can be enough for a revocation meeting or a revocation recommendation.
And revocation mening license gone. It's not, can you?
Administrative death penalty.
Administrative death penalty. That's definitely a good and strong way of putting it.
So depending on who's in office determines whether or not you're going to stay in business. You know, the compliance of the federal government and the laxities, or like he said, the ATF was there to help you stay compliant during the Bush years. And during the Biden years, it was there to shut you down. So as Trump's administration takes office and the Senate is controlled by Republicans, the House is controlled by Republicans, we as Second Amendment supporters need to get in touch with our senators and have them draft a bill to write in some protection for federal firearm licensees. I'll give you a couple examples later on here where two California gun dealers, based on what their cities have done or what California has done, has helped put them out of business.
Final day of business for San Francisco's last gun store. It's closing down in large part because of the city's new rules on gun and ammo sales. Ann Makovic is at Highbridge Arms, which has been in the city since 1952.
And these new policies aren't set to go into effect until December, but the owner of the shop here behind me in the Mission, the last gun shop in San Francisco, says he's just shutting down now because his customers will not stand for these new rules. Now, San Francisco does have a history of not being very gun friendly. Back in 2005, San Francisco voters passed Prop H, banning gun and ammo sales in the city and outlawing the possession of guns. That law was struck down by the courts after a challenge from the NRA. And this week, the full Board of Supervisors passed a law that would require videotaping of all gun sales and the weekly reporting of ammo sales to the PD. Now,
the only gun store in Coarse Gold is now shutting down. Hunters in the mountain communities aren't happy about it. Fox 26 reporter Sophia Lesios is here to explain why people will have to drive an hour just to get ammunition. Sophia.
Rich, because of new laws in California, it's making it even more expensive and harder for firearm businesses to keep their doors open.
I'm a hunter, I've always been around guns my whole life.
That's why Ryan Farrell started Southgate Firearms Supply 5 years ago, but just 2.5 years later at this location. He now plans on shutting down the business.
As you can see from these two news articles, this is California, but it could well be in New Jersey, New York, or any other anti-gun state, putting them out of business, imposing unrealistic, beyond what the federal government requires, of them and making it harder for them to comply. So there's just some of the fun awaiting you as you want to become a federal firearms licensee. Let's talk about the last thing that might add a little more fun to your day. The theft of criminals smashing into stores and stealing guns. You know, the implications of a federal firearms licensee being stolen from. Can you imagine the headache, the paperwork, and just the sheer frustration after surviving your state's laws, surviving the administration of an anti-gun regime. Now you have criminals smashing in your business and stealing your inventory so they can make more money on the black market with the guns they stole from you. These are all the fun things of being an FFL. I hope I shed some light on it for you guys. For me, I thought it would be kind of fun. And I started doing the research. And after doing a lot of research, I respect my federal firearms licensees even more. It is risky business that you can lose your shirt in. You guys have a blessed week. We love you. Peace out.